All right, welcome back to ABA exam review and the continuation of our RBT practice questions series where we're going through another set of questions together and breaking them down. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please like and subscribe. Check out btexamreview.com for all of our study materials, including our combo pack. When you pass your exam, let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Work hard, study hard. Let's get going. Adrian works at a busy help desk and finds in-person customer complaints stressful. When a customer approaches, Adrian gets up to check inventory in the back room. Over time, Adrian exhibits this behavior more often when she sees customers. What is the likely function? When we're thinking about functions of behavior, we're trying to figure out why the behavior is occurring. What does the person get out of it? And typically, behavior is going to gain something or get rid of something. Now, in Adrian's case, she works a help desk, but she finds in-person customer complaints stressful. So Adrian apparently is trying to avoid or escape these stressful situations because when the customer does approach, Adrian gets up and does something else. As a result, Adrian is now doing this, getting up and checking inventory more often when she sees customers. Why? It's very likely that by going and checking inventory when a customer is approaching, Adrian no longer has to engage in these customer complaints. So if we look very simply, what did Adrian gain? Well, she avoids or escapes these customer complaints. So what is the likely function? A, attention. Nothing Adrian is doing is reinforced or producing attention. Think about behavior. It's going to produce something. Adrian is not looking for attention from the customers. She's not getting attention for this behavior. B, tangible. Same thing. Adrian isn't gaining a tangible item here. She's getting up and moving away from these customers. So Adrian, by going check inventory, is successfully escaping these customer interactions. And then D, automatic. This is socially mediated because there's another person involved. Therefore, it cannot be an automatic function. So if we think about this, this is going to be very clearly escape. Notice how we read every single answer choice. Always read every answer choice and understand why the wrong answers are wrong, not just why the right answer is right. Elizabeth learns to make a simple pasta dish. After several successful attempts, she begins modifying the recipe by adding different herbs, trying new sauces, and experimenting with various toppings. All these variations still result in a tasty pasta meal. Which concept best describes Elizabeth's ability to create new but functionally similar pasta dishes without direct training? Kind of a tricky question. Let's just attack the question and not panic. We have to understand or think about what concept is demonstrated. Elizabeth is now creating pasta dishes, but she's gone from creating just a simple pasta dish to all these different variations. So she takes one pasta dish in the presence of a pasta dish she's trying to make, and she adds different herbs, different response. She tries new sauces, different response, and experiments with various toppings, another different response. So Elizabeth has gone from learning how to make a simple pasta dish to engaging in all these different responses that are going to produce the same outcome. What do we call that? Well, A, response generalization. When we have a situation where we've got let's say a stimulus is producing some sort of response, in Elizabeth's case, she's making this pasta dish. And now that same stimulus of making a pasta dish, she's engaging in several different responses. She's now generalized all these different responses and engaged response generalization. With stimulus generalization, we're going to be looking at the same response, but in the presence of multiple stimuli. And here we've got the same stimuli. She's engaging in the same responses that are producing the same outcome. So her responses are generalizing, and she's, without direct training, engaging in a variety of new responses or behaviors. Behavior chain interruption is an actual strategy we use when teaching a task chain. No task chain is being taught here. No one is systematically interrupting Elizabeth. She's just generalizing these responses just on her own. And then shaping. Shaping has to do with approximations, where we reinforce successive approximations. Elizabeth's behavior isn't being shaped here. She's just gone on to generalize these responses, and they're producing the same outcome. You, a behavior technician, work in a supported living program and you receive a phone call from a friend asking for details about a client's progress. They say they're just curious and offer to keep the information confidential. What is your best response in line with professional and ethical responsibilities? This one should be pretty straightforward. Ethics, we want to be very black and white on the exam. And one major point is we have to maintain privacy. That's part of client dignity. It's the law with things like HIPAA. You have to maintain client privacy at all times. If you're in a situation where, in this case, you're in a supported living program and you have clients and your friend just wants to know about a client's progress, who knows why? Maybe they've heard of the client, maybe they know the client's family. Regardless, we can't just share information about our client without further information. Does this friend have consent? Are the clients okay with it? Is the client's stakeholders okay with it? We need more information instead of just, well, they're curious and want to know more. We cannot share client information, any client information, with people who are not associated with that case and who have consent and the access to that information. So what is your best response to remain ethical and professional? A, provide a brief overview, but keep important details private. No, we shouldn't share anything with this friend until we know more. B, give them the client's parents' phone number. Well, we definitely don't want to do that, right? Because that's giving out very private information and then allowing this person to go and contact the parents. C, decline to share any information about this client. Yes. Doesn't matter if they're just curious, if you know them very well, they swear they're going to be confidential. You just can't give out information that this friend may not have the right to. We have to maintain privacy at all times. D, make up details about the client, but don't share anything that would reveal anything private. No, we just need to be honest with this friend. I can't share anything about this client. If you need information for some reason, we need to get consent, right? We have to know 100% that you have allowed access to this information before I share it. So your best response, given what we know, is to decline to share any information about this client. Amir wants to improve his public speaking skills. Initially, he practices talking in front of a mirror for 1 minute, earning a small personal reward if he does it every day. Following week, he aims for 2 minutes, then increases the goal to 5 minutes, and so on until he reaches 20 minutes. Over time, Amir's ability to speak comfortably in front of a mirror gradually improves. What is Amir demonstrating? Let's visualize this, right? Amir starts at 1 minute, and his goal is 20. Along the way, what does he do? Well, he gets to 2, he gets to 5, say he gets to 10, let's say he gets to 17. What do we call these? These are our successive approximations. So when we are shaping, we're going to reinforce this first, and then we're going to move to 2. Once 2 is done, we're only going to reinforce this, and so on and so forth until we get to 20. Once we hit 20, that's our terminal or goal behavior. So what is Amir demonstrating? A, extinction. We don't know if Amir is putting his behavior on extinction or not. He is using shaping, but we can't just assume. We know he is providing himself a reward. We know he's reinforcing if he does it every day, but we don't know about the extinction procedure. We do know for sure he's shaping. He is shaping this behavior because he's moving closer and closer with these approximations to 20. It isn't negative reinforcement. He's earning this. It's being added, right? It's got to be positive. And it isn't total task chaining. It's not a task chain. He's just speaking in front of the mirror. So Amir, through these approximations, is shaping his behavior. Rebecca often struggles to ask for help. Instead of calmly asking for help, she would just drop loud hints or sigh dramatically until someone noticed. The technician shows Rebecca a straightforward way to request assistance. Could you help me with this? After practicing, Rebecca begins using this direct request, and the dramatic sighing diminishes. What strategy was used? When we think about teaching strategies, things like DTT, naturalistic teaching, functional communication training, these are big ideas, right? Within each big idea, we're going to use our principles and interventions. If I'm doing DTT, I might be using punishment or reinforcement. If I'm teaching functional communication training, I might be using differential reinforcement. In this case, though, we're looking at the overall strategy, right? we have a situation where Rebecca doesn't ask for help. Instead of calmly asking, she engages in problem behaviors. So, what does the technician do? She teaches Rebecca how to communicate. And functional communication is that straightforward. When you're teaching someone to functionally communicate, you're doing functional communication training. So, after practicing, Rebecca is now using, could you help me with this? While the other behavior is diminishing. So the strategy used here is functional communication training. The technician is teaching Rebecca how to functionally ask for help instead of engaging in these other behaviors. You have to think about response classes, right? Dropping loud hints, sighing dramatically, are now producing what Rebecca wants. Our goal is to add to that response class, could you help me with this? And to make that the primary response. And through functional communication, we can do that. Now, B, naturalistic teaching. We don't know if this is naturalistic because this just says after practicing. And practicing to me sounds very systematic. And naturalistic is not systematic, right? We're just taking incidents and using them to teach to our advantage. In this case, we know Rebecca's been practicing, we just don't know how. So we can't say it's naturalistic necessarily. C, forward chaining. Again, it's not a task chain. Rebecca's just learning, could you help me with this? We haven't broken that down into steps. And then D, differential reinforcement. Is it likely that differential reinforcement was involved? Maybe, right? She's now using one behavior while another behavior is going down, but maybe they used punishment instead. Only use the information given to you, right? We don't know about naturalistic teaching. We don't know about differential reinforcement. We do know Rebecca was taught to communicate. So we know for sure functional communication training was involved. All right, good questions today. Thanks for watching. Check out btexamreview.com for all of our study materials. When you pass, let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Please subscribe. We really appreciate it. Work hard, study hard. See you soon.